Mr. Speaker, our proceedings are live and our children are watching. So as a mother, I'm cautious that if it's something... As a mother and wife, Mr. Speaker, I'm cautious on what is coming on the screens and my children are watching.
Have you seen it?
But they've cautioned us. They've cautioned us, Speaker.
But you don't know what the caution...
So unless it's in camera.
You don't know what the caution it was. Therefore, don't pre-charge. Let's watch it.
That's why, Mr. Speaker, it might come out and children are watching. So it will be too late, Mr. Speaker. So unless we go off.
Mr. Speaker, that's why we need to impeach him and we need to demonstrate that. Maybe we may play video clip number 12.
That language, Mr. Speaker, sir, is wrong. That is why we need to impeach him. Why is that? That's prejudging this honorable House.
That is the position of our client, and that is what they need to demonstrate.
Order, Senator Omanga.
Video clip number 12 or audio clip number 1?
Kumbavu wewe, takataka ghasia. Ndio bwana ulikuwa unakatwa makende, matako wewe. Wewe ni mzee, ukwalify kanjo si mama yangu, wewe ni grandmother. Wewe ni grandmother wewe. Changa, makende wewe. Niko nini? Chazi wewe. Naogopa Mungu si mwana maji. Takataka wewe. Leo yako ni ya pesa. Matako wewe. Matako. Matako wewe. Matako wewe. Chazi, kumbavu. Peleka changa kwa mama yako. Peleka changa kwa mama yako wewe. Shazi wewe.
Okay.
Kumbavu. Takataka.
Okay. Order. Order, members. Order, members. Order. Order. No. I'm not going to allow. He was only mentioning some organs of the body. What is outrageous about that? Proceed.
Video number 12. Video number 12. Kindly.
Very useless. Na nitakuonesha na hiyo pesa yako. Jinga wewe. Shenzi. Whom do you think you are? Mwizi wewe wa kawaida. Kwenda kabisa.
The governor threatening the investor with dire consequences.
Kuja hapa Kayole sasa uone kama ni mwanaume.
So what do you have to say about that?
Senator Falhada, what is your point?
Before we've seen the screen, we could only hear the voice, but now we don't know if, what evidence does it show that that is Mike Sonko?
Order. Order. Let me give further direction. Order. I said, as Senate, you are the jury. Your time will come when you will now look at all these things and make a judgment. So you'll take a decision. Senator Professor Kindeki.
37, 38, 39. Be reading. 37, 38, 39.
Mr. Speaker, I agree with you that the parties have a right to adduce the evidence that they think will advance their parties. But as a procedural question, Mr. Speaker, I will request your guidance whether it is in order for any kind of evidence to be broadcast. Because, Mr. Speaker, hypothetically, the party can bring pornographic material as evidence, and therefore, Mr. Speaker, I would cautiously request a recommendation whereby, going forward, sensitive material, which is of a nature that cannot be shared in this way, proceed on camera. So if it must proceed, it proceeds on camera. That's what courts of law do, because Senate cannot be a place for broadcasting profanity or other material that could be. And I'm not saying there is anything profane. I'm just saying that we need to be careful. The leeway is there, but some things the Speaker may have to guide us so that we maintain a bit of privacy and contain material that should not be consumed by everybody.
Mr. Speaker, sir, if I may, if I may.
We don't have that
just order. Senator Susan Kika, what is it? Let's minimize interjections because their time is.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Let me also add my voice to that issue. It seems a bit disturbing that council here, as much as they do want to bring whatever evidence they have to prove their case, that they are able to just bring anything, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I believe there should be some procedure or some process where maybe we are even able to authenticate what it is that they're bringing in. So we have to have some chain of custody, perhaps, maybe be able to make sure that that is whoever they are saying, they're arguing is his voice. We don't know all that. So I don't think they should be able to just throw in the kitchen and the kitchen sink to the wall and see what sticks.
Okay, maybe going, no, let's make progress. Because, order. You know, these materials were, what's your point of order?
Mr. Speaker, I think it will be proper for us to look at the evidence. But since we have an in-camera session, maybe at that point, when we're deliberating, we can listen to such. Because it's actually not fair that our children back at home are listening to this, and you don't know the context as to when, we don't have the whole picture, Mr. Speaker.
Okay.
Because,
order.
Just with a small clip of 30 seconds, you don't know whether it has been edited so that it suits a certain narrative. So I think what I'd request, Mr. Speaker, because we are the jury, we are the people who are supposed to make the decisions. If we are not happy with the way things are proceeding, I think it is right for us to raise them so that we don't have to wait until the time when we're talking.
Okay, order. I want to say this. First, looking at those videos, they were made in public and people were watching. It was not in privacy. So, they were not, what I'm saying is you saw one of them was on NTV and people were watching. So what I'm saying, going forward, when we go, like you said, in camera, we'll be able to look at the evidence that has been brought so that we are able to move forward. Let us proceed.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. And
we also place to the attention of the Speaker that we do not have those video clips. They were not served upon us in advance, Mr. Speaker. And actually there is a risk, there is going to be miscarriage of justice, Mr. Speaker. If videos and clips are going to be played here that have not been served upon the governor and his team.
Mr. Speaker, sir, if I may respond, because that matter directly affects us, as the question of the service. Yesterday we met at the office of the clerk to this house, where we all exchanged documents. We've been candid enough to disclose each and every evidence being brought forward, and Mr. Speaker, I confirm that we served Mr. Kinyanjui's clerk with all the relevant evidence.
Order. This is not a market. You have to respect the House. Yes. Stand when I give you an opportunity. So let's proceed.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir. So, Mr. Ogada, from what you have heard, what can you briefly tell this particular House, very briefly?
Mr. Speaker, the concern that I have is just the concern that each and every member has here. They are saying some things which we are hearing of are things which really a parent sitting together with the children is not supposed to listen to or watch. And that is the governor you gave us, and those are the things we are watching. And that is why we decided that enough is enough. We are not able to continue watching the same things with our children. So we have made a decision that we impeach him.
Confirm to this House that whether we have a certificate detailing where these particular video clips and audio clips have been procured from, and that has been filed in this particular House.
Yes, there is a certificate, and it was filed with the clerk of the Senate.
Thank you. So I will take you to paragraph 37, 38, 39, 40. Kindly speak to that particular issue.
38, Mr. Speaker, the Governor, Mike Sonko, oversaw and authorized the financing of an illegal, irregular, extravagant, exorbitant, and flashy trip to New York, the United States of America, by his daughter, Saumu Agnes Mbuvi, amounting to Kenya shillings 4.6 million. The daughter was disguised as a ward administrator of the Nairobi County to purportedly attend the county First Ladies Conference held during the 62nd session of the Commission on the Status of Women in 2018.
Kindly explain that, that particular aspect, kindly.
Mr. Speaker, that is an absolute abuse of office from the onset as you look at it. Because one, here we find him flying his daughter to the United States of America to attend the First Ladies Conference. The problem here is, number one, the daughter is disguised as a ward administrator. And if you look at the ward administrators we have in the Nairobi County, the daughter has never been a ward administrator. Besides that, Mr. Speaker, sir, the daughter flies in a first class to New York, costing the taxpayer 840 million Kenya shillings, which I know even the Speaker of this House may be permitted to travel using first class, but I doubt very few Kenyans are allowed to travel first class using public funds. But here is a case they did.
So we can find that we can find that evidence, Mr. Ogada, as per your paragraph 40, where the evidence of this exorbitant expenditure. Paragraph 40 of your statement.
We will get it on page 1120, 1120.
Mr. Speaker, sir, that is page 1120 of the second file, that is 9B. The second file is a black file. The third file, my apologies, it's 9C. 9C, my apologies. 9C, it's the red file, it's a dangerous file, that's why it's red. Kindly take the House through that evidence on page 1120 as you explain.
Mr. Speaker, there is an affidavit to that effect of the officer who was basically entrusted to make sure that it happens.
So I think that witness can testify on that. We can go to paragraph 41 then.
Mr. Speaker, sir, on the same trip, apart from using first class, we find the governor's daughter being hired for a chopper at a cost of 220,000 Kenya shillings to go around New York City to see how beautiful the city was, using public funds. She goes ahead to have an offside party at a cost of 260, using public funds.
260 what? Kindly
60,000.
Which currency?
Kenya shillings.
Thank you.
The same lady is transferred from the First Ladies Conference to Philadelphia at a cost of 60,000. As she was in Philadelphia, she went to visit tourist sites at a cost of 120,000 using Kenyan money. She was accompanied by the media, and those media people were paid 120. And while she was around that place, they were able to spend around 300,000 on ground transport. But you remember, she was flown at a cost of 60,000 to Philadelphia, but ground transport within Philadelphia took 300,000.
So the documents that you have referred to, do they demonstrate where these amounts, colossal